Then we'll open it up for questions.
Well, yeah, Wichita State, is on a really good run right now. Finished the season really strong and then continued that into their conference tournament with a really hard-fought loss to Cincinnati. Could have been in their championship game. And now I've been on the road in the NIT for 2 wins and finishing up yesterday at Clemson. And, they're a really typical Wichita State team. Play extremely hard, do a great job on both ends of the floor. They really rebound the ball. Marcus McDuffie's probably one of the harder covers that we're going to see all season, as versatile as he is. And they've got true size at the 5 that puts a lot of pressure on the rim. And their other guys are gotten older, first-year players, whether they're first year in the program or they're freshmen. So should be a really, really hard-fought game. I mean, we're going to have to really bring the energy level and the toughness that you have to deal with when you play them. And I think from the environment in the arena, I think both teams are really going to be excited and hopefully ready to play.
As you look at them, they kind of have this pivot point around early January. They started 8-11, but since then they've won. They're 13-3. Do you see differences in kind of them early season versus them more recently?
Yeah, without question. I mean, they have really a reboot. They had such a veteran-oriented team the last few seasons that you kind of knew they were in transition with all the new faces that they took the floor with this season. And I think that they got off to a start, but probably a little bit they're not accustomed to with the amount of winning they do. But without question, right around February 1st, you started to see them really kick it into gear in their league. And as they go to the conference tournament, beating Temple, playing Cincinnati to the wire, and then obviously beating Clemson on the road yesterday. I mean, they're playing as well as they've had all year.
Did you play when you were at Dayton?
Yeah.
What do you remember from that?
Well, we played a fantastic Wichita State team at Dayton in the NCAA tournament, and it was an extremely hard-fought game. And the team that they had, was very balanced. They had a lot of weapons. When you play them, you just have to understand what's going on. And if you're not ready to rebound and play hard and you're not ready to compete, they're going to get you. That's been their MO for as long as Coach Marshall's been there. I mean, their mantra is just toughness. And I remember that game like it was yesterday. It's us not being able to score enough baskets at the end, but how hard fought the game was. And that team again, I thought last year maybe won the conference championship, and got into the NCAA tournament again. And but this team is different. They have new faces that are brand new. McDuffie's the one guy that's been a mainstay in their program. He's a senior. He's an all-conference player, 19 a game, offensive rebounds, drives. He's made 76 threes on the season. He's a very, very difficult matchup, and they do a good job.
Hayes Jones is a senior guard, too, for them. Most of their team is young, as you say, but they do have a senior guard averaging double figures. What have you seen from him? Very
good off-ball screens, very, very quick attacking guard, plays hard defensively, can really get up after you. He makes plays for him, hit a huge shot late in that Clemson game yesterday to go from a one-possession game with 20-some seconds, and he bangs a huge step-back 3 to put him up 6. But he makes plays. I mean, he's their guy at the end of the clock that's going to make a lot of things happen, and they set a ton of ball screens for him, so he's constantly in attack mode. But he's definitely, one of the tougher guards you're going to play against that we've seen.
With the way you guys have been playing without giving away any game plans, how do you see some of your Indiana's advantages over them right now?
I think that the personnel that they have is talented, it's strong, it's athletic. We're going to have to establish a low-post game in this game. I mean, with Duran and Juwan, we're going to have to establish some things around the basket because things are going to be tough, on the perimeter, and you're not going to get great shots. They do a good job of that. But the physicality of the game is going to be way up. So for us, we're going to have to find a way to establish the paint. I think when we've established the paint here recently, good things have happened for us. Juwan, Duran, and our ability for our guards, a guy like Devontae, he's going to have to make some more plays. And we're going to have to find a way to get in transition. That's when we're at our best when we're in transition. For that to be the case, defense to offense is going to be a huge thing in the game. And, we're going to have to find a way to get runs. But, they're very good. I mean, they're as good as any team here of late, regardless of their record. They're playing as well as any team that we've played here of late. They give us a lot of problems, with their size around the basket. Like I said, defensively, they can really get up after you. Rebounding the ball is huge. If we rebound the ball, our team has shown to been able to play with anyone. But this is going to be one of those deals where our guards and everyone's going to have to be committed because, they're going to be bigger than us on the perimeter.
With McDuffie being as tough of a cover as he is, how important does it make a guy like Justin Smith that you've trusted for some of those tough defensive assignments this year?
He's going to really have to step up. It's a big key matchup in the game, is him being able to defensively to hang in there. And, Juwan as well. I mean, like I said, he plays like a guard, but he's got unbelievable size and he's got great motor. He plays hard. But without question, we're going to need Justin to really give us something on that end of the floor like he has at different times, whether he's guarded Jordan Nwora, you name the guys he's had to guard. When he's hung in and did a good job in that sort of situation where he's hung in, we've been better. But without question, that matchup is huge. And I think Justin has to step up and sort of rise his level a little bit. He has to be ready to go on that end of the floor.
Do you have a target for guard rebounds, any particular when you try to shoot game to game? Or is it
it's always been like 12, 12 or more from our guards that usually, that's always a key number when your guards are rebounding the ball. It means that, number one, they're cleaning it up and the other guys are blocking out. But 12 or more has usually been a good number for us. I think this last game, I know Devontae had 11 himself, and Al and Rob had 7, so we had 18 right there. And we out-rebounded Arkansas, so in one-possession games and tight games, and you name the situation, rebounding is always a key factor, and that'll be a big one tomorrow night.
It's a little bit cliche, but just what do you think this team's learned about itself and its ability to refocus these last couple games after the disappointment in the NCAA tournament? I think people talk about that a lot with the NIT, but this team
it's
just
over
doesn't
now.
seem to have bothered.
It's always that first game. You have to get over the hangover, but once you get through the first game, and you probably saw it as well as I did on Saturday afternoon, it's a great environment to play in. The players want to play, so now you get to the third one, and you're playing ball again. You're just playing to win, and there's obviously a carrot at the end of this one because you're moving on to New York City. And, you get to New York City, it's good to be playing this time of year. It's good for your experience level. It's good for guys to win games at this time of year, to be on the spotlight again. And, for us, like I said, that first one's always going to be tough. Clearly, it's not what we wanted, but you're now through that. And you're back playing to win again, and you have something to play for, which is a great opportunity on Tuesday. And I think it'll be an electric atmosphere for our guys to play in, as well as Wichita State. And, like I said, either one of these teams that wins this game, man, you move on another week and you're in Madison Square Garden. So it's playing ball again.
You talked about it a little bit there too, but Echenique, his rebounding percentages are really good, and I know he can be prone to fouls sometimes, but is he kind of that sort of physical presence you're going to have to establish against?
Yeah, well, I know he's played great in the tournament here. These last 2 games, he's averaging, I think, 17 points a game, and he's given them an offensive presence. He's a big guy. He's got good touch around the basket. He can do some things. And when you bring in mid guard, it's a whole different level, size. He's 7'2", 300 pounds or whatever he is, and his presence rolling to the basket reminds me a lot of John Teskey type of a feel, that he gets a lot of rim runs at the basket, playing off of the sort of the spacing that they play with. And both guys, I wouldn't say they pound the ball into, but Echenique in these last couple games, he's clearly really done a nice job for them. They got true size at the 5. McDuffie's a really tough cover, and they can shoot the ball from a few spots as well. And like I said, they really spread you out and do some good things. So, for us, it's really kind of looking at what we do well and how does it apply in a quick turnaround. You have to be yourself, but there also is some tweaks that maybe we need to look at that, we can't give these guys the easy ones that they get off of certain coverages because they'll just keep picking on you. So I do think that it'll be an interesting game around the basket, though. I mean, they have great size and around the rim, and they do a good job of walling up and making things difficult. So, Duran and Juwan in particular, our low post guys that, command the ball, they're going to have to really be ready to, play through some size down there around the rim.
Okay, I'm going to let Coach go.